Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Coast to Coast Hoops. Another great Saturday to start off your college basketball weekend. Today's show brought to you by PickCity.com. Head over to PickCity.com to find your next best bet. Every league, every game, they have you covered at PickCity.com. We got plenty of games to go over, a huge slate. No more COVID, looks like to me. We're going to hop right into today's slate, but first let's welcome in our co-host, Sco. What's going on, Joe?
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm pumped. A Saturday, a normal college basketball Saturday. Got a few cancellations here and there, but for the most part, we got a ton of basketball going today. So this is my kind of Saturday. I'm looking forward to today.
Awesome. The first game on the slate, we got a lot of early games for me personally. I know you have some early games as well. First game we're gonna hop right into is the Syracuse Duke game. Kicks off at noon p.m. Eastern time. Syracuse again. We said all the time we love them as underdogs, hate them as favorites. They're getting 11.5 today at Duke. Over under sitting at 154.5. Scoj, let you take it away right here.
Yeah, so Duke coming off a disappointing loss against. I think they're 2-2 in their last four. Lost in overtime at Florida State. Florida State, tough team at home. So that's not a horrible loss, but still, Duke. I think should have probably won that game. I had them in a parlay, so that sucked for me. But Syracuse, like you said, I love this team as a underdog, especially a double-digit underdog. They are nuclear on offense, but this zone that Boeheim loves to play just is not that good. Duke, not a very good three-point shooting team. They don't shoot a lot, but they can penetrate this zone. Like I said, this zone is not. A lot of teams have just been killing the zone. Middle free throw line, crashing the boards. They get a lot of 3-on-1s, 3-on-2s. Duke, I think, is going to take. Coach K's got a lot of experience against Boeheim, so I don't think that zone's going to give. And I think this game is just going to be up and down, up and down, up and down. So you got a 3-point shooting team in Syracuse. So that always scares me that they could go cold. But I really like the over here, over 154. I think there's going to be a lot of points, a lot of offense. I think Syracuse keeps it close enough that we get some fouls and free throws late. Don't know that Syracuse can pull the upset here. Wouldn't shock me if they do because they're that kind of team. But I love offense in this game, so I'm going to play the over here.
Yeah, Syracuse 3-1 on the road against the spread this year, 4-2 against the spread as a dog, and they're 3-0 against the spread as an away dog. Duke just hasn't really been able to put away teams, meaning by double digits these past couple games. I don't know if it's just fatigue heading into the later part of the season, if they're getting bored with this terrible ACC conference. But Syracuse fighting for their lives in these type of games. I think Boeheim has them ready to go. The spread here is 11.5. I think it jumps up to 12.5 before tip in the next hour or so. So if you want to wait, I don't mind you guys waiting, but 11.5 for me is plenty of points here. I see maybe Duke winning by 6 or 7. And not very comfortable win at home.
This opened at 13.5 too, so that's what I got it at. I jumped on it right when it opened last night at 13.5. So I think it will move back up maybe just a tad, but yeah, I still like them at 11.5. I still think they cover that.
Yeah. Again, they're 3-0 against the spread as a dog, so there's plenty of numbers heading towards Syracuse's way. I think Duke is like 6-5 at home against the spread this year, so nothing great on their end. We've seen Duke. We just saw them lose to Florida. Was it Florida State? Yeah, Florida
Duke,
State.
Yeah, they lost in overtime. Yep, lost in overtime.
They lost
Florida
Miami
State.
too. So I mean, against this not so great ACC schedule for them, they're not really dominating, and I don't see it changing too much today against a Syracuse hungry team. With a good coaching matchup, but I mean that Boeheim zone does scare me a little bit. Even though we have some people who talk about it as like the GOAT system. Not gonna name any names, but moving on. Next game, my game, Rutgers at Minnesota. For me, this is a total fade for Rutgers here. Rutgers just beat Iowa, so it's a great letdown spot for them here on the road against a Minnesota team who has been playing great basketball. But for me, this is enough of a fade for me to take Minnesota here on the money line or the spread at -1.5. Rutgers 1-5 straight up on the road, 1-3 straight up as a road dog, 1-5 against the spread on the road, and 1-3 against the spread on the road as an underdog. Just a team that just doesn't play well on the road. They're traveling to Minnesota today. Just one of those teams that we like to fade on the road than at home. And I think this happens again today.
Yeah, I have nothing on this game. Didn't even look at it. Two bottom feeders in the Big Ten, and it's just two bad teams. So I'm staying completely away from it.
Yeah, I agree with the two bottom feeders. Minnesota coming into the game has lost 5 straight. So for me, it looks like they're due for a win against a team who really can't perform on the road. I know Harper's numbers on the road, which is Rutgers' best player, are totally like just fluctuating, totally different from home and away. I think his last road game he had 7 points. So look for him to struggle today as well. Yeah, this is just a fade on me for Rutgers. So if I lose the fade, I lose the fade, but I'll take the -1.5 today against a terrible Rutgers team on the road. Next game, Hofstra takes on Northeastern on the road today. Hofstra laying the 4.5. That line's a little weird to me, so I'm gonna go the over way. Northeastern 12-5 to the over. Hofstra 9-7 to the over coming into today. Northeastern's also 5-2 to the over at home, 8-3 to the over as an underdog, and is now 6-0 in conference play to the over. It's sitting at 141.5. Some books probably have it at 140, 140.5. I'd take the over up to like 142. I see both teams putting up 70 points easily today in this conference matchup.
Yeah, Northeastern at the beginning of the year was an underplay for me, a team that I thought that they were a little methodical, but Hofstra is a up-tempo team, so I think they're gonna get the lead early here. They're gonna probably pull Northeastern along in this game. So the over, I don't mind that play. Again, I don't have anything going on this game myself, but Northeastern, yeah, they if you look at their over/under totals, it's just slowly been moving up. Started in the 120s, now in the 130s. Now they're playing Hofstra in the 140s. So I do think Hofstra gets out in front here and pulls Northeastern along. So I do like the overplay here. I'm not playing it, but I could see that happening.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Hofstra puts up close to 80 today with the fast-paced team on the road. Northeastern don't really think has a chance to win this game, even though they're at home. I've watched them play a couple of times. They just struggle sometimes on defensive end, getting stops in big moments. So again, another play for me in the over. Just leans the over the whole time. Any aspect of this game is just points for me. Not much defense on both sides. Hofstra looking to run every chance they get. It just screams over for me. 70 points each just seems pretty easy. Even if Hofstra gets 80 and Northeastern like bobbles around try to get 70, I think it still hits pretty easy today. Next game we got Elon taking on Delaware. Delaware giving Elon 8.5, traveling to Delaware today. Over 100 sitting at 142.5.
Yeah, I love this Blue Hen team in the CAA. They're actually my pick to come out of there. They get the bid out of that conference this year. They just can shoot the ball at a high clip. They've got 4 guys averaging 39.6% from beyond the 3. And Elon's defense, they're 51.8% effective field goal percentage. So I think this is just a really bad matchup for Elon. Elon can score. They're pretty good on the offensive side, but I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with this Delaware team. So I love Delaware by double digits here. So I'm all over the Blue Hens here. I think they're going to win this game pretty easy. Elon, they've upset a few teams this year, but they haven't been that good on the road. Delaware, they've had 2 or 3 games on the road, tough fought games against higher teams in the CAA. So Elon coming in there, I don't know, but a lot of times when a team has played like 2 or 3 games hard fought on the road, when they come home, a lot of times there's that letdown early. So this game might be close early on, but I think once Delaware gets their legs, and I look for them to pull away in the second half here. So I think they win this game probably by 12, 13 points, easy. Well, nothing's ever easy, but in my opinion, I think Delaware wins this game by 12 or 13 points.
Yeah, Delaware, I've had them a couple of times this year. I had them last game. I think they're at -2. I forget who they're playing, but they basically led the whole game, dominated that game throughout, and now they're given 8.5 at home. I think it's an easy again, we keep saying easy, but double-digit victory here today at home against an Elon team who hasn't really showed much of anything.
Nothing's easy. If it's easy, we would all have mansions. And
I know. But Elon's one of those teams that's getting more and more into the fade category for me, especially on the road here against a dominant Delaware team. So I lean the under here though as well to the 8.5. I just don't think Elon really has much of a fight to put up points here against a dominant Delaware team traveling to their gym. So I don't know if Elon reaches 65 points here today. So maybe like a 70-60 game, 70-62. 70-61 type of game. I think if Delaware gets over 75, it's a blowout. I don't think Elon even comes close to that number today. So, yeah, I lean Delaware in the under here in this game. Next game, West Virginia travels to Texas Tech today in the Big 12 conference matchup. Texas Tech comes in 8-3 against the spread at home, 5-1 in conference play against the spread. West Virginia I took them earlier this year against Kansas. They really just screwed me over real nice. So they're on my fade list as well on the road, especially 1-2 on the road against the spread, 1-3 on the road against the spread as a dog, and then now 1-4 against the spread in conference play, which is the worst in the Big 12. I know they've had some tough games early in their conference schedule, but they've just been playing like dog shit in the second half. First half they come out fired up, they come out ready to play, and then the second half they just lay shit. And I don't know. I don't know if it's Bob Huggins yelling at him in the locker room and getting them all down the dumps. But this Texas Tech team has been playing well. I think 8 is a pretty easy number to hit.
Yeah, West Virginia. I mean, this Texas Tech team is a lead on defense. They play such good team defense. They stay pretty much in every game. I could see, West Virginia. I think this is a low scoring game personally. I don't really have a lean on the side. I mean, I think Texas Tech wins the game. I mean, do they get the cover? I don't know, but I would lean under in this game. I don't have a play on this game, but I like both of the defenses here. And Texas Tech is elite on defense. Like I said, their team defense is just phenomenal. So do they get the cover? I could see that, but I would lean under in this game. That's all I would do here. But it'll be if you like offense, this isn't the game for you. This is going to be probably a slow paced, grind it out type of game.
Yeah. Looking at just recent history, I mean, Texas Tech just pretty much dominated this Iowa State team, which is I guess it's a pretty similar comparison to West Virginia. Not too much on offense, pretty good on defense. Even though West Virginia has two guys who can score the ball, and O'Neal and Guy, but I just think that this Texas Tech team's gonna lock both those guys down. And once you lock both those guys down, there's not much threat inside. As we know, West Virginia lost Oscar Tshiebwe to Kentucky this year, so their post presence isn't there anymore really in this offense. So I think if Texas Tech can lock those two guys down, which I think they will pretty easily, they can get out and run in this game and pretty much seal the deal pretty early. I think the first half play also here. I think it's at -4. I think it is. I see Texas Tech up 6, 7.5. So if you guys like first half plays, take Texas Tech here too. I think this might fall into Scojo's second half system as well today. Meaning if Texas Tech is up like 5 or 6 heading to half, and the second half spreads at -1 or -2, I think I'll play that as well. But I mean, this Texas Tech team is shown that they're here to play. They're here to play in the Big 12. Like I said, they just took care of Iowa State by 12. So I think West Virginia this could be a blowout. I don't think West Virginia really scores much today. So Texas Tech by 10+ is my prediction. Next play, Chattanooga takes on VMI. VMI dominant in the last game, beaten I forget who they beat, but they beat them by 19. Just put up 99 points in the last game. Again, we know Chattanooga put up the points as well. I think Scotia has the over here.
Yeah, no, I'm on the over here. Just VMI over. I mean, Chattanooga is a good team. I think they're the best team in this conference. But VMI has just been fun to watch this year all year long. They put up points. They play at a high pace. I think Chattanooga is going to try to slow this down a little bit, but I don't think they're going to have a lot of options here because I think VMI is going to. I think VMI is going to pull the upset here. I'm also on VMI in this game to win it outright. So, but I do like points in this game. I like VMI to get a lead, to pull Chattanooga along. Chattanooga can score. I mean, they've got an efficient offense. So I like the play that I like here is the over. I think we're going to get. I think we're going to get a game in the 80s. I think it's going to be a close game. So we're getting 85, 82, 83, 81, 82, 80, somewhere around there. It's going to be. I think it goes north of 160.
Awesome. Yeah, like I said, VMI just put up 99 points in a regulation conference game last game out. So I see 80 plus here by both teams pretty easily. I think if Chattanooga wants to win this game, they have to keep up with a high pace VMI team. I think VMI will control the pace of the play for most of the game here today. 5.5. Why? Why is this game 5.5? I don't really know why. I think it's a 2-3 point game. I like the points here, like you just said. VMI coming off a pretty dominant, high pace, fun game last game out in conference play. I think this travels right into their next game as well. So yeah, I think over today, over 148.5 is also my play in this game. My next and final game is going to be Virginia taking on to NC State. Now, I looked at this game. I know NC State has been bad at home this whole year in conference play. Even in non-conference play, they've been bad as well, but I know they're this bad. NC State now comes into this game 2-9 against the spread at home, 1-8 against the spread as a favorite, and are now 3-5 in conference play against the spread. To be honest with you, I think you look at what Virginia is, because if you're playing a team that bad with numbers wise at home, and you're getting 1.5, I think you should take them automatically. Virginia, as you know, a great defensive team, slow pace. While the total is only at 128.5. I like Virginia on the money line at plus 110. I think it's great value. Anything on this place, Coach?
Yeah, I don't have anything on this game, but you're right about Virginia. They're a system team. They're never going to run. They're going to walk the ball up the court. They have been a little better on offense than I thought they would be this year. So their unders, the last couple of years have just been money for me. But I've stayed off them this year. It looks like they're putting up points a little bit better this year. But they're almost in every game that they play just because of the style that they play. So I could see this game being close. I mean, if you're getting points and your numbers with NC State at home, this is probably a game I'm going to look at after we get off here and maybe jump on Virginia there. But yeah, Virginia system team, always in every game. I could see them, this game being close and then pulling it out late.
Yeah, I mean, Virginia on the road, they took down Syracuse on the road. They took down a couple other big teams in conference play. You're just giving 1.5 to basically a team who's playing a team who's just atrocious at home. Like I said, 2-9 against spread at home, 1-8 against spread as a favorite. I think Virginia might be my favorite play on the slate that I just went over here. So I like Virginia a lot today on the road, getting points and their plus money as well. Next game, we both agree on this one. Florida State travels to an in-state rival in Miami, Florida today. Miami, they're the real deal, man. We've been doubting them the whole ACC conference play. They went there and beat Duke. They went and they beat a couple other teams. Florida State just beat Duke at home, but we know what Florida State is at home. That number was also skewed as hell. I think just a big public display of pounding Duke, and that line never moved at all. Florida State coming off a suspect win against North Texas at home. It was a 2:00 game on like a Thursday, so I can't really blame them for not playing as well as they usually do. But Florida State on the road against a hot Miami, Florida team today.
Well, first, North Texas is a good team in that Conference USA. Oh, you said North Florida. Okay, I was like, North Texas is a good team. North Florida. Okay. This is more of a fade. Well, I mean, it's a couple things. Miami is better than I gave them credit for at the beginning of the year. Their offense is elite. They're putting up points. Like you said, beating Duke and throttling North Carolina. North Carolina played terrible in that game. Couldn't put the ball in the hole at all. But Florida State away from home is just a different team. Plus, they're coming off an overtime, but a big win against Duke. This has got let down written all over it. I think Miami is going to, control this game. And I think I like Miami to win this pretty, not easy, but 5, 6, 7 points at home. I think they're going to control the game. I think this game is going to be one of those games where they jump out early, they get up by 6, 7, 8 points, and it just stays there the whole game. They say, it'll get to the last 2 minutes. You might get into foul and free throw scenarios there. But I think Miami's just going to control this game throughout. I don't think they're ever really going to be in trouble. So that's how I see this game going. So I like Miami minus the 2.5.
Yeah, Miami is one of my personal plays today. It'll be my VIP plays as well. They're just hot, man. You got to play the hot hand. They got Charlie Moore from DePaul as their lead guard this year. He's playing well and fitting right in that role with Larinaga and his offense. They're at home, which is against an in-state rival, against an in-conference rival, so it's a big matchup. They have the home crowd behind them. I think 2.5 is a complete joke. I think this is a 5.5 point game.
I love Miami's big man, that 6'10" kid.
Yeah.
He's got a beautiful stroke from
Correct. Yeah.
outside. He had a monster game against North Carolina.
Miami spreads the floor, and I don't know if Florida State can handle that spread offense. They're kind of slow on defense, I think, a little bit. They're not as fast paced as a Duke team, and we saw what Miami did to that Duke team at Duke. So I think Miami with the easy win today in conference play. Florida State, again, not a bad team. We just know as bettors that they're not the same team on the road. They don't have the same intensity. They're not playing the same defense. Do you lean the over and under here today at 146?
I don't really have a play. I mean, Miami's elite. They've been scoring a lot of points, and Florida State can probably stay with them. So if I had to make a play here, I would probably go to the over. But I'm not going to play the total here because I actually could see Miami blowing Florida State out here too. Yeah. I mean, I could see that type of game. What I think is going to happen is, like I said, I think Miami's going to get up. They're going to lead this game by 6, 7, 8 points, and it's going to stay there pretty much the whole game. But I could absolutely see Miami blow it because Florida State can just go dead cold on the road. So I wouldn't trust them in an overplay here.
Yeah, I think if you take the over here, you're basically trusting Florida State to get at least 70 points. And then I think if Miami gets 80, it could be an over. But again, you have that potential for an 80 to 60 type of game where it's like just a total blowout and the total doesn't even come close. You're basically betting on a Florida State team who's not great in the road offensively to put up 35.5, which I'm not really comfortable betting on. So to recap our our straight bets today, we have Syracuse getting the points on the road against Duke. I have Minnesota laying the 1.5 today against Rutgers. I also have Northeastern and Hofstra going over the 141.5 total. Scotia has Delaware by 9 or more against Elon at home today. I have Texas Tech with I think a blowout situation in Texas when West Virginia travels to them today. We have the over. We both have the over 10 in the VMI Chattanooga game. I think that's a great spot for an over here. Again, VMI just put up 99 points last game. I think the same thing happens today. Just a total fade today with NC State at home. Virginia getting the points and the plus money. And then we both love Miami, Florida today, taking on the in-state rival Florida State.
Yeah, and a game that you didn't have on there that I sent a text to you is Loyola. I love Loyola minus. No, that's all right. But I mean, we're going to go do parlays and stuff, so I've got them in a parlay. But I love Loyola Chicago today at home against Missouri State. I love Missouri State too. I think Missouri State's a great team, and I think these are the two best teams in that conference. But I everything Missouri State does good, Loyola does better. So I think this is an absolute horrible matchup for Missouri State. And I look for Loyola Chicago just to dominate this game. The point is it's at -7. I had it at like -5, 5.5, so -7, but I still like it at -7 because I think Loyola. This game, another game where the second half system might fall into place. Loyola might be up by 3 or 4 at halftime, but I see them pulling away late. So I really like Loyola Chicago today.
Awesome. All right, let's hop into some little fun parlays. I got 2 today. I got one of my favorites that I'm probably personally going to take today, and then we also have, of course, a underdog parlay. My first favorite parlay is going to be Duke, Villanova, Davidson, and Kansas on the money line. That's at -106. Like we said, we do love Syracuse at the points today, but they're 12-point underdogs today. I think Duke gets the win here in conference play at home. Villanova plays Georgetown. That's all I'm going to say. And Davidson takes on a Fordham team today. Fordham obviously just lost their best player. He quit on the team, basically. He's just gone. So Davidson, again, probably the best team, in my opinion, in the A-10. They get the probably a pretty comfortable win today against Fordham. And then Kansas takes on Kansas State. I know it's a rivalry game. I know those teams have some bad blood, but Kansas is just the more talented team, the better coach team, and they go into Kansas State and get a pretty comfortable win as well. So that's minus 106. That's pretty much even money for your value there. My next play is going to be an underdog parlay. It's in that plus 1,100 odds. Virginia, I think, is one of my favorite plays to stay on the board. LA Tech, which I know Sco's not going to like because it's against one of his favorite teams today in UAB. And then LSU, it's a little bit of a not a fan bet because I'm not an LSU fanboy, but I just like the LSU team is getting plus 190 on the money line, plus 5.5 in the game. I think it's pretty good value for maybe the best team or top two teams in the SEC today. Traveling to Tennessee, which I just hate Tennessee. So LSU, LA Tech,
That's why you're betting it because you hate Tennessee.
LSU, LA
It's
Tech.
handicapping magic right there. I hate that team. I'm betting against them.
That's some BTV shit right there. No, but Tennessee, I mean, obviously two dominant defensive teams in LSU and Tennessee today. I just think there's good value on LSU today to get the upset at plus 190 and the plus 5.5. So those are my three underdog teams at plus. I think it's 11-14. So you put $100 down, you take back 12-14. That's pretty good odds for me. I know, Scode, you got one today.
Yeah, I got a couple. For those that follow me on Action App, I'm hammering this moneyline parlay today. I'm Loyola. I love Loyola. Chicago, Davidson, which you had Davidson, Delaware, which I love Delaware today, and then Nova. So I've got two of the teams you got in there, but I've got Loyola, Chicago, and Delaware. So that's at minus 103. I'm hammering that moneyline parlay today. So that's one I'm playing. And then another one that I really like today is Baylor, Miami, and Auburn. Miami, Auburn are both at home, and Baylor is at Oklahoma. That's probably going to be a tough game for them. I like Baylor to win a close game there. That's at plus 314. So I'm going to take those three teams to win today at plus 314. Again, that's on Action App if you're following me there. I've got everything. I've got a big slate today, so I've got probably over 30 plays I'm going with today. So, but I like those two parlays today. The first one I am personally playing, and I'm hammering that one. So I really like those four teams.
Awesome. I mean, we got three, in my opinion, three of the best games today are going to be the Auburn Kentucky game, the Baylor and the Oklahoma game, you got the Duke Syracuse game. You got a ton of great games today, ton of conference matchups. You got UCLA takes on Colorado today as well later on the day. I know you and I both agree that UCLA, the two teams that need the biggest wins today, in my opinion, are one Baylor and two UCLA. Two teams that have been struggling the past like 2 weeks or so. They need to come out today. They're both like 3.5, 4-point favorite or a 4-point favorite today. I think they both need to make a scene in these two games. Show the dominance in your conference. Show who runs the conference. UCLA in the pack and Baylor in the Big 12 today. I think they both need big wins today. I think they need to show their dominance today. So I like both those teams to win as well.
Oh, wait. There we go. The fork. Yeah, I'm going with my boy. I'm going with my boys today. I'm going with Arizona State on the road at Stanford. They're getting 5.5. I think they're going to win this game. I don't think Bagley's going to be back today. I think they're going to let him sit one more game. Again, the Pac-12 is wretched this year. It's just really bad. U of A is the best team in the Pac-12. They're actually fun to watch. I love what this new coach, the guy from Gonzaga, Tommy Floyd, I think is his name. Yeah, I love watching this Arizona team play. I mean, I want to beat them. We're not going to beat them this year. So I have no, false hope at all. But I really like this U of A team to go deep in the tournament too. I mean, Sean Miller's out there. He was a choke artist in the tournaments. Couldn't lead his teams anywhere. He had talent at the wazoo all the time, but he is just a horrible, horrible game coach. So I love watching this U of A team play. I hope none of my ASU boys are watching this, but unfortunately, it's the truth. U of A is the best team in the Pac-12 this year, so it's going to be a lot of fun to watch them, and I think they're going to go a long way. And don't sleep on Oregon. Here comes Altman and the Ducks.
Yep.
I told you in December, I'm like, You watch this Oregon team by February, by the time March rolls around, these guys will win. They've won like 10 out of 12. They're going to be a top 4 seed in the Pac-12 tournament. They'll get probably a 5, 6, 7 seed in the tournament, and Altman's just a genius coaching wise. So,
yep.
Don't sleep on Oregon. USC is not a top 25 team. They suck. And then UCLA will be there. So that's my analysis of the Pac-12. Oregon, UCLA, and U of A are the teams to watch. USC is not a top. I was laughing that they were in the top 5. They are not that good.
Yeah, I remember when I told you that. I was like, what the hell is going on? You said, all right, name the top 5 because you haven't looked at it yet. I think you're at work. And I was like, all right, I think it was like Baylor, UCLA, Auburn. And I said, the last one, you're like, please don't tell me it's USC. And it's like, damn, it's USC. He's like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
It's USC. I mean, yeah, they're not even top 25 in my opinion.
So
did they play today?
They
played today against Utah, I think.
Who? Yeah, they would be at. Yeah, it's the mountain. They're on the mountain tour, Utah and Colorado. That's UCLA. I'm looking at I like UCLA, but that Colorado is just such a tough place to play in Boulder there with that elevation. It's just
it's up to
so hard to play there. Yeah, it's so hard to play there. But I really like UCLA. To me, is a team that is just kind of sleeping right now. They're just going through the motions, doing what they have to do. And it's like, okay, is it tournament time yet? So I think once the Pac-12 tournament gets here and the big tournament gets here, you'll see a different UCLA team. The one thing that worries me about UCLA is their depth. They've got no depth at all, and they're so dependent on Zhu Zhang to score. So those are a couple things that worry me with UCLA. But again, U of A is the elite team in the Pac-12. I'm going to stick by that. I think they're going to have a pretty good run. So this year, I'd like to see them go deep. I've got a ticket on them to make it to the Final Four, and I've got a ticket on them to win the national championship. So,
yeah,
again, ASU buddies, whatever. It's money. So,
money takes precedence in this type of scenario. One more game I want to ask you about. Two games. One, both in the Big East today. Villanova takes on Georgetown. I know we both have been winning today, but do you think they cover the 13.5 on the road?
I just say you never know what you're going to get with Georgetown. I mean, I know they had a magical run in the tournament last year. That was, awesome to see, but I don't know what you're going to get out of them. I mean, I really like, personally, I think Villanova trounces them here, but Nova, they've been kind of sketchy. I mean, they had a pretty good run there, 4 or 5 games in a row, but it's just not a game. I think they win the game, whether they cover or not. I don't know. I honestly don't have an opinion on it because Georgetown's just that erratic to me. So Villanova wins the game. If you made me bet on it and take the spread, I would bet Nova and the points, but I would stay away from it.
I think this is at home. It's a totally different thing, mindset for me. Nova at home is just dominant. Maybe not in the first half, but they always come out solid second half. But this 13.5 point spread on the road against Georgetown, who you really don't know their identity, like you said. Yeah, I just stay away. Other game I was looking at earlier was St. John's and Seton Hall today as well in a conference matchup that kicks off at 12 p.m. Eastern time. A lot of good early games today that I love because I'll be able to watch most of them. That I like the over here. St. John's and Seton Hall, both fast-paced teams. St. John's with Champagny. He can put up 35. He's a stat sheet stuffer. And I think that over 154. I think they both get. I think it goes to 160. Maybe. What do you think?
I agree. I'm actually on this game. I'm on the over in this game. It's a personal play. We didn't talk about it, but yeah, I'm on the over here. St. John's is a fun team to watch, and you got to watch St. John's because if they're close late, they actually turn up the defense. I mean, they don't play defense for 37 minutes, but if they get into a tight game late, they're able to lock down. So I mean, it's kind of weird that they can't lock down the rest of the game. But if this game is close, you watch the St. John, they'll make some plays on the defensive side. But I think I don't think this game's going to be close, but I do think that there's going to be a lot of points scored. So I am on the over personally in this game.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, guys, this is probably one of the first Saturdays of the season where there's a huge slate. I'm like got up early today, look at all these games. Like I can't stop scrolling my finger through all these games today on my app. Man, just a great college basketball Saturday. You can't ask for much more. I think there's only a couple games canceled today. Looks like there's like 4 or 5 today. Not too many big ones. I know Ohio State's canceled today. And that's really about it that I see. That's more of an important game for us. But yeah, man, great show. 30 minutes in, we're gonna wrap up here and get going on our beautiful Saturday. My warm Saturday evening today in Connecticut. It's a solid 14 degrees outside today, so I'm gonna get all nice and warm. I know, Scoj, you are going to probably watch most of these games, and then you're going to probably watch your ASU today as well. So I wish you luck in that game. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow. I know tomorrow's another good slate for us to talk about. So we'll catch you guys tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, and we'll see you then. Have a great Saturday. Please bet responsibly.